Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Drink Local Drink Tap's annual meeting. I'm John Evans, and I joined the board in 2019. I currently serve as Finance Committee Chair. I got involved with Drink Local Drink Tap after traveling abroad and seeing communities with no access to clean water and basic infrastructure. Living in the US, most of us don't have to think twice about having clean water. We take it for granted when turning on the tap to fill up a glass of water or washing our hands after using the restroom. The gift of clean water not only delivers a basic human necessity, but it gives time, health, dignity, and so much more. As a donor, it's important to me to see a tangible and lasting impact. We raise money, drill a borehole, and deliver clean water to communities for decades to come. It's an efficient process with measurable results. We do it all start to finish, and as a grassroots organization, every dollar makes a difference. I've truly enjoyed my time serving on the board over the last 4 years. There's a strong sense of community and pride in the work that we're doing, both locally and in Uganda. Today, we're excited to share highlights from 2022 and our exciting plans for 2023. We've decided to stay virtual for this year's meeting to allow us to connect with stakeholders near and far. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. First, please use the chat box to connect with our team and other guests. Joe from our team is in the chat box to assist with any questions. Second, you're welcome to keep your camera on or off, but we do ask for your attention during our presentation. Lastly, please remain muted throughout the meeting. We will have an opportunity for questions at the end of the session, and you're welcome to add your questions and comments to the chat box at any time. Without further delay, I'm going to turn it over to Erin and the team in Uganda. Erin?
Hi, it's so nice to see so many friendly faces this morning for you, this afternoon for us. Thank you so much, John. Our board is a tremendous support to our mission, and it's been amazing to see it grow and diversify over the last decade with so many dedicated, impressive members. Welcome again, now from Africa's Great Lakes region. I'm so grateful to be here with the team in Uganda and equally grateful to the team in Cleveland for taking care of business running the head office and domestic programs. So we've been busy. We've been busy educating and inspiring our youth, busy engaging with local and global communities to care for our environment, busy creating clean water sources, toilets, and strong community relationships in Uganda. All year long, we help people realize their power to change the world by improving water quality and improving water equity. So I want to start with introducing our team here in Uganda, which includes Kathy, who is currently on a drilling site now, setting up for 2 new water sources that we're drilling this coming week. She's our drilling supervisor and hydrologist. Johnson, who many of you have met, is our construction and logistics manager. We've worked together since our very first project opened in 2012. Susan is our local monitoring representative for Nakasongola district. She adds a powerful local voice to our team. Noah is our tallest member and our monitoring officer. He leads our monitoring program. Fiona Fio assists in 2 departments as our operations and monitoring assistant, ensuring both departments are working together. And Masembe is our operations and communications manager in Uganda, focused on compliance, operations, and the quality and efficiency of programs and projects. And in Cleveland, we have Russa, Ben, and Joe, who many of you have interacted with. Joe just finished her first year on staff with us as our first ever marketing and communication coordinator. Ben is our education program manager, and Russa is our community outreach coordinator and assists with a lot behind the scenes in our offices. So what have all of us done in the last year? I'll share just a few exciting milestones and highlights for you. Our WASH, water, hygiene, and sanitation programming in Uganda has been growing. We opened our 100th project this year, and although costs for fuel and project implementation have increased dramatically, we've managed to help nearly 10,000 new people with water and sanitation. Our Wavemaker program in schools has grown. Last year, we reached 2,700 youth directly in classrooms. We added teacher training, teacher open houses, online sign-up forms, new funding partners, and new schools all to the mix. We even hosted our first ever beach days, which was a multi-school beach cleanup event, and had a record-breaking 13th World Water Day, reaching children across the nation. You might recall also that we published a book for teenagers in late 2021. It was called Make Waves for Change. Well, we developed our largest book partnership with Westerville City Schools outside of Columbus. All of their 8th graders are now using this book. We also created a teacher's guide to help support classroom use of the book. On the beach at our cleanups to protect Lake Erie, we picked up over 2,000 pounds of trash at 31 cleanups this past season, all thanks to Russ's leadership and our awesome volunteers. We also serve in a leadership role on the Greater Cleveland Water Equity Partners Board to improve water equity locally in Greater Cleveland as well. And how do we make it all happen? It's not only our amazing staff, but our partner support that makes all of this impact and progress possible. In 2022, we celebrated 10 years of partnership with Moen and continued to develop new exciting partnerships with families, corporations, and foundations. Welcome to all of our new partners. When we talk about partnerships at Drink Local, Drink Tap, longevity and commitment are words that come to my mind. In some cases, these are relationships almost a decade in the making, some more. In September, we awarded the 2022 Changemaker Award to Moen, and I would love to show a short clip that captures this partnership. Let's take a look.
A world without water is not something we want to live in. At Moen, we're actually committed to protect that most precious resource on Earth, that is water. And that aligns very much with the purpose of DLDT, of bringing clean water to the world.
At Drink Local, Drink Tap, we work to improve water equity through programming, projects, and partnerships because we believe that clean water is a basic human right. We have US-based programming in schools and in communities, and then in East Africa and Uganda, we literally build water and sanitation projects.
This purpose of DLDT aligns very much with what we believe we have to do as a leader in water experience. Mission Moen is a pledge to save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030 and remove 2,000 tons of plastic from the ocean by that time.
Our partnership with Moen began all the way back in 2010.
At that time, the company was evolving from being solely a faucet company to being a water experience company that happens to make faucets. So we were starting to look for, more actions and activity related to water.
Moen stepped up and said, here you go, we're here for you. We want to partner. This is exciting for us.
We take pride in our values, doing what's right, working together and getting results. We empower our people to be their best for themselves, for the organization, for the community, and for the planet. And so I think that sense of action, that sense of responsibility, accountability is really something we're sharing with DLDT, and that's why it's so special.
Our partnership with Moen is so special, not only because employees are engaged with us throughout the year, but also because they've grown and evolved with us over time, not only to support at first our work in East Africa and Uganda solving water equity, but moving all the way back to the US and working with us to clean up beaches and improve water quality and equity here.
Moen is the leader in water experience, and it's our responsibility to really protect that most precious resource. The goal of DLDT and how many people we want to give access to clean water, and that synchronizes very well with the ambition that we have at Moen.
I'm really excited to see where the future takes this partnership because we've expanded and grown so much together. I'm just wondering what we can do in even a broader circle of inspiring everybody to care about clean water. Thank you again, Moen, for your long-term partnership. You're part of our family. We hope to continue to cultivate new partnerships like this and are equally excited about new relationships that developed in 2022. Thank you to all of our partners.
Thanks, Erin. So this is, truly a testament to the process of Drink Local, Drink Tap, how we engage, how we collaborate. So hi, everybody. My name is Jane Griffin. I'm the board chair of DLDT, and I'm excited to be here with you today and see so many familiar and new faces and names. There are many different ways to work with Drink Local, Drink Tap. As an individual, as a company, as an organization, if you're interested in becoming a financial supporter of our work, of our mission, we've recently developed new helpful packages that we'll share after the meeting to provide more insight into that. So everyone likes numbers, right? So Erin, can you share maybe some impactful metrics from the last year?
Sure, absolutely, Jane. So I've just shared some of the amazing highlights from this past year, and our 2022 annual report will be ready to share in early March after assessing our financial performance and compiling impactful stories from this year. So don't worry, it will be shared electronically with you if you registered for this event. So I'd love to take a moment to focus on the tremendous progress since 2010, what we consider our founding. What you see here are numbers I'm so proud of and sometimes can't even believe. Here in Northeast Ohio, since 2010, we've collected more than 15,000 pounds of trash, more than 500,000 pieces, 533,000 to almost be exact. And we've had more than 20,000 Wavemaker program participants in Greater Cleveland. These are kids going through our Wavemaker program. In Uganda, we've completed over 100 wash projects, and we're almost at 50% of our goal to bring clean water and sanitation to 100,000 people by 2030. And true to our authenticity, it's important to share the roses and the thorns. We had some incredible successes this past year, but also some challenges. As many of you know, I'm the executive director and also the founder of DLDT. Growing this since 2010 has been truly exciting and very challenging. As we embark on this next decade of growth, we need new tools and new capacity. I'm finding myself hosting more donors here in Africa, spending time growing and developing our staff, and development work needs more of my time. After all, it takes fundraising to support our staff and programs. Our structure needs to shift, and our team needs more tools. We'll be performing a micro audit of our operations, board, and fundraising this spring to set us up for growth. And we know that we have a few immediate items to address. So we need to grow our team. We need expert support in our operations in our head office and project support in Uganda. Our structure in Uganda is changing rapidly, along with continuing to professionalize our services. We need to increase productivity in the field in Uganda. We need a second vehicle. Our team, we were just talking through that today for 30 minutes. A second vehicle will help our teams be in more than one place at once. That also means maintenance, fuel, and seemingly endless tires to reach remote communities. We need operations support in our Cleveland office so that I can use my time to accelerate DLDT's impact and align it with funding partners who believe in our vision locally and globally. Achieving these steps will launch us in the right direction of helping 100,000 people access clean water and sanitation by 2030 and to reach 5,000 more youth with our Wavemaker program in the next 2 years.
So more questions to you, Erin. How can we address these challenges? What do we need specifically to tackle them?
Another great question, Jane. Many of these challenges require funding, so we are laser focused on creating partnerships, efficient and economical project planning, and growing in a smart way to accelerate change. In an organization of our size, it doesn't happen all at once, but step by step. Our goal this year is to raise $675,000 to achieve some of these ambitious goals. A challenge for DLDT, like many nonprofits, is raising unearmarked funds to support our mission, to allow us to invest where money is needed most. This comes in the form of direct donations, corporate sponsorships, and operational or general grants.
So, outside of the amazing impact that Erin and the entire DLDT team delivers on a daily basis here in the States and in Uganda, for me, it's been really exciting and truly meaningful to work with this team and help DLDT grow as an organization, right? But as Erin was mentioning, we're not done. We have our sights set to take, frankly, not baby steps, but some leaps, and drive a step change in our growth and ultimately our ability to drive bigger impact. And that's really where we need this team's help. So who's ready to hear a little bit more about 2023 and what's in store?
So 2022 marked more than 100 projects, the distribution of our Make Waves for Change book for teens, lots of milestones, and we're not done. We're launching today our theme of 2023, which is the power of water. Water is powerful. It holds the key to health, equity, solving gender issues, good education, and well, it's the key to life itself. Water powers gender equity. Water powers communities, schools, families. Water powers joy and memories. Water powers inspiring education. And water powers life. In 2023, using the power of water to inspire our network, we want to set DLDT up to accelerate change in the next decade, starting with a few steps I just discussed. In addition to those specific needs, we aim to surpass 55,000 people with clean water and surpass 20,000 people with safe sanitation in Uganda, reach 3,000 people, or 3,000 local youth with our Wave Maker program in schools, and surpass the milestone of 30,000 volunteer hours being donated to our organization. Most of these hours are spent helping to clean the beach at our beach cleanups or through board service, supporting all of our work through 4 Miles for Water, our splash party, any of it, all of it can help accelerate change.
I truly love that. The power of water will be weaved into all of our events, from our 14th annual World Water Day, celebrating on our 10th annual 4 Miles for Water, and finally the annual Giving Splash Party that we hold in the fall.
Yep, that's right. And we've already got several 4th to 8th grade classrooms signed up with Ben, our education program manager. They're already signed up to participate in World Water Day on March 16th, which is great news. Also great news, registration and sponsorship are open for our 10th annual 4 Miles for Water, which is on June 10th as of today. We will include a link to these events in our post-meeting communication. I can't believe it's been 10 years for 4 Miles for Water.
Now we would love to answer some questions. We asked for questions to be shared in the chat box at the top of the meeting, but also requested participants to share in advance. So we're going to start with some of the questions we received during registrations, because there was frankly a lot of good ones. We had a question, what is needed to help Drink Local, Drink Tap achieve its goals for 2023?
A lot, but I think this question came from Maureen Stanton, and I do feel like we touched on this today, but I am definitely happy to follow up if needed. I think we can move to the next one.
Yeah. So next question from Lauren Fine was, what do you need most to scale our business model?
Thank you for your question and your support, Lauren. I'm glad you're here. Very simply, I would say partnerships, and this is funding and otherwise, and staffing a new organizational structure in both countries. As for partnerships, the longer the ability to commit, the easier it is for us to plan for growth and to build more resilience into our structure.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good question from Bud Thomas. How do you determine the priority of so many projects that are needed to be done?
Well, this might be a long answer, Bud. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the question. Frankly, it's hard. But our team in Uganda developed a system that works for us, and it starts all with a needs assessment. This includes factors like looking at the ability to maintain a project, noticing red and green flags that we identify at a particular location, looking at the number of people served, local government priorities, and other community readiness indicators. Every community who makes it through our needs assessment process is fully ready for a project and is added to our wait list. Yes, we have a wait list. At this juncture, it often comes down to numbers. The cost of the project in relation to our funding partners' capacities all plays a role. So sometimes money drives it. Larger projects are harder to get done and fund, and toilets are harder to fund. We find a lot more interest in funding our water projects by our philanthropic partners. A wash project can range in cost anywhere from $6,500 to $75,000, for example. So funding projects of various sizes require different partnerships and timelines to complete.
Yeah, thanks, Erin. So next question from Andrew DeFreitas. In what ways is DLDT expected to emerge from the pandemic in 2023? And what impacting factors remain?
I would say that we hope to be able to recover some of our reserves that were used during the pandemic. This builds resilience for us and security for the next bump in the road. We have a few new partnerships on the horizon, one of which I'm hosting in Uganda next week, that might be able to jumpstart a new form of growth for us, which will help our workflow and planning in Uganda. Having that cadence happening is going to be really helpful. And our Wavemaker program has seen growth in foundation and family partnerships in 2022, which we hope will continue to allow us to realize a new baseline of impact domestically.
Yeah. So speaking of visitors in Africa, so Rachel Ronick asked, what can we travel, or when can we travel with you to Africa and do some philanthropic tourism?
Rachel, I love your energy, and I have many questions for you too. I would be happy to talk about how you can support projects and visit Uganda. So if you would like to message my team, you can go ahead and do that in the chat or info@drinklocaldrinktap.org. Someone will make sure that we talk. I'm happy to be hosting 4 sets of philanthropic partners in Uganda in the first half of this year, and I'd love to explore your question further offline.
And then next one from Gary Rosen. How long will it take us to get to 1,000 wells?
I just felt gray hair coming. No. And Gary Rosen is my father-in-law, so I'm allowed to joke with him like this. So for us, it's about truly building resilient, climate resilient wash projects and taking the right amount of time, expertise, and community planning to construct resilient projects. Our goal of reaching 100,000 people by 2030 with water and sanitation is big. And I think we can reach the goal sooner if we gain a few longer term commitments from families, friends, companies, and foundations who want to be part of that goal. As a part of our long-term success, it's really about not rushing through projects. This leads to lack of sustainability. So as we say in Uganda, pola mpola, slowly, slowly. We will continue to build good quality community managed projects as fast as we can without compromising our standards.
But this is also, Erin, what we talked about. This is the growth that we're looking to, the step change that we're looking to go through next, right? That will allow us to maintain that quality, but drive a impact at a faster rate, frankly.
Exactly.
Volume. So this is a good question, especially for people that are kind of newer to DLDT. This came from Barbara Hoekstra. How did you pick Uganda for our water efforts?
So that is a great question. I get asked that question quite often, and I'm sure other people are wondering also. I was in 2010, when everything was starting with Drink Local, Drink Tap, I was in a local Cleveland Metropolitan School District classroom talking about water issues and solutions, both with a local and global perspective. And I met a teacher from Uganda, and her kids were writing pen pal letters to kids in Cleveland saying they were missing a lot of things, but one thing they were missing that they really were not happy about was water. They didn't have access to water. So I decided to come to Uganda and learn about the problem and see how I could help.
And that story is captured in one of our videos that we made earlier on in the documentary. It's a good one to watch if you haven't seen it. Okay, next question from Dan Ferguson was, how do we actually fund our projects?
I always say I'm always hustling, but our projects are funded through corporate partnerships, families, school children in the US who go through our Wavemaker program. They host fundraisers, they raise pennies. There's religious fundraising efforts at churches and synagogues. We have our 4 Miles for Water event, our splash party event, and sometimes grants. I saw a few of our ERM friends in the chat and here today. The ERM Foundation has funded a couple of our wash projects in rural Uganda. So it's wherever someone's heart is, whether it's the heart of a company or the heart of a family, it comes from different places. And it really is a collective effort.
No, thanks, Erin. So I think this will be, I think we have time for a couple more questions, right? Somebody cut me off if that's inaccurate. But I will, so next question's from Don, one of our board members, actually. So this is for the Uganda team specifically. What lessons about water conservation would you most like to teach the people in the US?
I love this question, Dominic. And I think Fiona, I think you're happy to answer? Yes. Okay, this is Fiona.
Hi, everyone. So I would say, imagine a day without water. We can only guess what it's like to have to choose between used. Yes. I mean, because we truly shouldn't waste anything.
From Elise Griffiths, how's our target going for 1,000, our target of 100,000 people helped? How's that coming
So
along?
we're about halfway there. I joked with my board when we set this goal that we could reach it by 2025, and they said, how about 2030? And I said, how about 2028? So we're in negotiations, but as far as I'm concerned, we're in negotiations. But we're really gonna try to reach it sooner than 2030. We're about halfway there.
I think we could do it.
Yeah. So I really appreciate Fiona jumping in and everyone for your questions. I'm really excited to work with all of you to achieve our big goals and to inspire the next generation of water stewards, our youth, to engage in our communities. It's so important that we're raising global citizens in Northeast Ohio and beyond to be a part of solving problems and connecting to the bigger world. And I look forward to seeing all of you at 4 Miles for Water. And if I didn't answer your question, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at info@drinklocaldrinktap.org. Thank you so much for coming, and good night from Uganda.